People. Que pasa, sac passe, what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. Now, one of the things that has been trending all over social media is that we see that the government, the relevant authority, they made amendment to the new Traffic Act. However, one of the moves or one of the amendments that a lot of persons involved in the public transport system, taximen, minibusmen have, is the fact that the relevant authority is requiring that these persons have child restraint seat in a them vehicle. Now, people, you and I know that that is not very practical. However, the person that made the rules and regulation, it seems as if it flew over their head. So what we did is we called the Prime Minister Andrew Holness and we make him go in one of these taxis with a child restraint seat, because them say Pitney 0 to 12 should be in some sorts of child restraint seat. This is the picture of your Prime Minister Andrew Holness in that seat, and people, if you look, you see that he is very uncomfortable. You see that he is kind of too big for the seats. My disclaimer before I proceed, because I know that some of you people don't realize or see a joke and take everything serious, because maybe you are a political sheep. So this picture is Photoshop. It is not actually real. However, the point that I am trying to make is that you have to be very practical whenever you make rules, laws, and regulation. So I guess the people, the brainchild, the people that are making the rules and regulation, them realize, is a full amendment that it don't make no sorts of sense. So the relevant authority, they are in communication with the hierarchy of the JCF, and they have given directives to the officers out there. Please allow children to sit in the back seat without any sorts of child restraint seats. I am going to let you take a look to a voice note of the ACP, Mr. Mackenzie, giving these directives to the POPO. Take a listen, take a look.
We also know that based on those concerns, the authorities have indicated that they are reviewing the matter. As a result of this ongoing review, the police will use their discretion in relation to the seat belts and the child restraint systems, and will allow public passenger vehicles to operate as it were under the old law until that review has been completed.
Now, people, like me say, sometimes when you don't really too bright, when you make rules and laws, all of these persons that consider themselves to be educated fools, them sit down around some sort of boardroom and they talk, they throw ideas back and forth. And you're going to tell me that nobody that was in this meeting, nobody that was a part of the decision-making process did not see that this was not practical. So anyways, people, like me say, the good thing is that they are now telling the POPO to use their discretion as it pertains to seatbelt and children in child restraint seat system. People, it did not take a genius, any sort of Einstein, to tell anybody that this was not going to work. It definitely made absolutely zero sense. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called reprisal is the order of the day. You take one of ours, we are going to take back one of yours. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The POPO, they are theorizing that the takeaway of a 37-year-old man, his name is Dwayne Smith, in a place called Chapelton that is in Clarendon. It is said to be the reprisal of a 58-year-old farmer. That farmer's name is Mr. Dunkley. Mr. Dunkley was 58-year-old at the time he met his demise. It is said that he was taken out by the 37-year-old man, Mr. Selvin Smith, that was supposed to be some sort of mason by trade. So therefore, Mr. Smith took away Mr. Dunkley. It is said that Mr. Smith was on the roadside washing some sort of vehicle when he was pounced upon by some people with some sort of hot tool. They ran him down, GUN him down, take with himself. He was hit a couple of times in the upper body, more specifically in the crown. He was taken to the place of recovery. However, too late was the call. Based on what the Popo are theorizing, Mr. Smith, who allegedly took away Mr. Dunkley, the 58-year-old farmer, he was taken out by a man known only as Not Nice. Not Nice is said to be the cousin of Mr. Dunkley. Based on the information, it is said that when Mr. Dunkley, 58-year-old at the time when he lost his life, was taken out, Mr. Smith was the suspect. Mr. Smith was locked up. Mr. Smith was charged. However, Mr. Smith was released 2 days later. One thing that we know about reprisal, whenever you take with people that are serious family member, they are always going to come back for you, guaranteed. There's always going to be reprisal. Nobody is going to sit down and say, all right, me I gotta be the bigger man or the better man. So people, it is going to be a revolving door, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, until everybody pretty much gone. Unless, of course, there's some sort of intervention, mostly divine intervention. That means God have to come to them and tell them, stop. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news is that as a concerned citizen of Jamaica, we want to end all this corruption that we see going on in the schools, in parliament, in the financial sectors, SSL, FSC, Anjo Holness, the JLP, the PNP, the finance minister. And I understand that because of the lack or scarcity of dump trucks in Jamaica, they've been a backlog of the pickup of garbage, of corruption. However, since these 50 new trucks came to Jamaica and then pretty much catch up, we as concerned citizens have decided that, listen, we're going to use these 50 dump trucks and we're going to pack up all of the corruption in our parliament and all those places that I mentioned. People, if you look at your video, these are the trucks that are posted outside parliament, going to SSL, going by the JLP, going by the PNP, going by the commissioner's office, going by the school board, going by everybody that is involved in any sorts of running of the country of Jamaica. And we're going to pack up everybody and carry them down a Riverton and dump them off where they belong. Take a listen, take a look at the video. Now people, like the saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So therefore, a video like this, video proof is worth about a gazillion word, if there's such a word. The point that I am trying to make is that with all this corruption going on in Jamaica, we need to pretty much clean house. We need to wheel and come again, revamp, start over. Get rid of all of the dregs in society, all of the corrupted people in a society. Start over from scratch. dump out the old and start with a new, because at the rate that it is going, we are headed to a path of self-destruction. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news is based on 2 videos that I see circulating all over social media. This video or these videos were taken in some place in a UK. I don't know exactly which part, I just can't tell by the accent. Now apparently there was this young girl, her name is ABINY. ABINY seems as if she have some sorts of MO of taking people, man. Me no know if ABINY have the hold me and let me go. ABINY have the Ivy League brain, or ABINY have the old package. Me no know what it is. But it seems as if a next young lady, Keisha I think her name is, she got wind that ABINY, when known for take people, man, I look for fear, man, too. ABINY I try walk off Keisha, man. So therefore, Keisha decides that she is going to go on some sorts of live and some sorts of internet and expose ABINY. When she went by ABINY's house, she had some sorts of big kitchen utensil. She was THREATENING for take away ABINY, because ABINY allegedly was trying to take away our man and trying to walk off our man. She did not say it already happened, so therefore she was forewarning her. However, she was sending a very strong message, and she decided that she wants to record or go live so everybody can see, so therefore she can embarrass ABINY. Sorry. But what she was doing, she was actually incriminating herself, because in the video, I think that it is at least 3 videos, it seems as if she have some sorts of electrical water heater or kettle, and she boil up some water, she fling upon the lady, she was gesturing of juking up the lady. As a matter of fact, at one point, you could hear her say, look upon your hand, all sorts of red in your hand. So therefore, she juke up the little girl in her hand over some sorts of man. Now people, if you look at your screen, that is the picture of the man in which this whole thing is over. I am not going to say that he is any sort of monkey sample. However, he is not the cutest person in the world. However, women look at things different than man, and who am I to say? Maybe this man have a long slang, maybe this man have a long tongue, maybe this man is a some sort of long distance stoler. Me no know, me no get the whole information in the investigation. However, what I do know, whenever you as a woman or any sort of man get into this sort of PSYCHO rage and decide say you want evidence or you want to show and prove and take it on social media, you are only incriminating yourself. You are only sending yourself faster to the big yard, destination doom, part 1. The next thing I have to say, it seems as if something is wrong with a lot of these women in England and people. I am speaking in general because I know say you have some nice, sexy, sensible women in England. However, I think that something is in the water, something in the food, something in the atmosphere in England, because it seems as if a lot of you women are not too righted in the head. And people, this is not a diss. This is just my observation from being in a couple of places, tourist place. I realize a lot of the women from England, when them pick up some man, them go at the club them in Jamaica. Me no know if them think them are the English or UK stellar and them want them groove back. However, it seems as if a lot of the time what they are picking up is some sorts of riffraff. As a matter of fact, sometimes the men are not mentally sound. That means a madman in a clean clothes. That means you have to be MAD to pick up somebody that is kind of loose in the head or no head. At the end of the day, it is not worth you incriminating yourself, taking away anybody because of some sorts of man. Because at the end of the day, that man's loyalty is to you. The lady that take your man for whatever reason, maybe you not do your job or your man is just a FREAK and a HOE. You can't blame the matey, you have to blame the man. Matey does not have any sorts of loyalty to you. So therefore, the only thing that you are proving is that you are a JACKASS, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. I understand that this might be your grandma's favorite YouTube channel. However, this is not the average run-of-the-mill mama and papa channel. This is news with a buzz. If you appreciate videos like this, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, and sharing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.